What's up, guys? Today we're counting down the top 10 units in All-Star Tower Defense. Also, don't forget to smash the subscribe button if you want to get my new co-unit Toru dropping very soon. Remember, you must be subscribed to get her, and drop my boy King Luffy a sub too if you want to get his 350k co-unit as well. Now, we're not counting any support units because they vary, alright? These are only strictly based on damage, guys, alright? If it is a damaging ability, obviously that counts. Alright, so first up, guys, in the number 10 slot, we have one of the old GOATs, guys. We have Sukuna. The reason he's up here in this list is not only does he have some amazing DPS, look at this right here, guys. He's also pretty much busted OP for raid modes as well, even though this is mostly an infinite mode based list. Look at this, guys. His starting stats are pretty crazy, especially when you remember, like, look at, he deals damage 7 times over 21 seconds. Pretty dang busted, guys. He has some very, very nice raid mode upgrades as well. Alright, let me show you those real quick. Some very, very, very OP raid mode upgrades. So for raid mode, he goes all the way up to right about here. All right, where he's doing a solid 723,000 damage without any buff, guys. That's pretty busted. And remember, you multiply that by 7, actually technically 8. So like that's over 3 million damage per hit for a cost of only like 163.2k. That's pretty busted. And then, guys, it gets even better. He's also meta for infinite mode as well, because look at this, man. He is the highest poison damage in the game as of right now. All right, without buff and I believe without leader bonus as well, he is doing 431 times 8. So that is pretty busted, guys. However, he does have a really, really high SPA, which makes him a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. That brings us to number 9. We have Blazing Prince. Now, I rank Blazing Prince a little bit higher than Sukuna. Wow, this is bugged right here. That's funny. The reason being, it's actually pretty obvious. Look at the starting stats, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Blazing Prince is 100% better starting stats. Even though he does have the leader bonus, he's a slightly lower level, so this kind of evens it out. And he has a way better AOE as well. He's just 100% better than Sukuna. It's crazy, man. All right, let's get an upgrade for $10,000. All right, we'll match it up a little bit here. All right, so roughly the same price. Look at this, guys. Double the damage for the same price. If you take a look at his ability, it's actually better. Burn does 7 times damage 7 times over 12 seconds, while Sukuna does damage 7 times over 21. All right, also infinite mode wise, he's also busted as well. All right, he does do slightly less though, but again, he has a faster SPA, like 3 times as fast, so it actually evens itself out. Also the fact that, look at this, guys, he's full AoE versus not full AoE, so that's why we have Blazing Prince in number 9. All right, so for number 8, we have another elemental unit. We have our boy Zoro. Now, I know Zoro's ranked a little bit higher than the other ones. The main reason being is he is the only one of these that hits air units. Now, he actually sucks for raid mode, so don't even bother bringing him. Bring Chainsaw Man instead. But look at this, guys. 3.13 for 12, and that is versus the strongest curse, which is 4.31 for 21. So factoring in SPA, this guy's a lot better. Also, bleed is pretty nice as well. 5 times over 8 seconds is way better than 7 times over 21. So overall, Zoro is definitely way better. And plus, mine is only level 80, so it's going to get a lot more damage as well. Going over that. So that's why we have Zoro in at number 8. Alrighty, guys. So for number 7, we have more of a traditional unit. We have our boy Ichigo. Now, Ichigo kind of sucks for raid mode too. You can kind of use him on placement. But what makes him busted, guys, is his final ability, or just generally his stats, man. 24.6 for 8. Granted, you can only place 1. But what makes him also really nice is his ability, which basically allows him to become the best air unit in the game, pretty much. Making him a way better AoE cone and 26.8 million for 8 SPA, which is very spicy, especially factoring the fact that there is no buff. So that's why we have Ichigo at number 7. So for number 6, we have another elemental unit. Now, Yami, I'm gonna be honest, he leaves a little bit to be desired here. Maybe I should have ranked him a little bit lower, but dude, 4.18. But look at his stats, man. They're crazy. Black Flame deals damage 21 times over 40 seconds. Bro, and look at that 6 SPA. The only downside of him versus Sukuna is the fact that he costs way more than Sukuna. But look at this, guys. Like, basically the same damage and like 5 times faster SPA and a better effect. Yo, yes please, guys, yes please. That's why we have Dark at, or Yami 6-star at number 6. All right, so for number 5, we have a little bit of a different unit. Now, this unit is a little bit underrated in my opinion. The only problem is his ability of drawing cards is so hard to use. But if you take a look at his stats, he actually does some really dang good damage. Look at this, guys. 7.35 for 5 SBA, and he's fairly cheap as well. It's only like 3 or 4 million to get that. He's actually underrated, and his ability does 5 billion damage, but it's really hard to control. So that's kind of the problem with that. But he's definitely like one of the goats if you're trying to damage farm. So definitely highly recommended. Unfortunately, he's not sellable. So let's go bring the top 4 now. Let's go. All right, let's go for the final 4. So at number 4, we have our boy Metal Cooler. I had to throw in one good raid unit in here, guys, and he is the raid mode god still. However, we do have a new raid mode god higher on this list. Thanks to one of the Day-Day's video. Apparently, he's actually affordable in some of the raids. So I'll show you guys that in a second. It's actually pretty busted. So yeah, Metal Cooler, everybody knows what he does. He summons clones with like freaking 20 million HP, and it's 1 per path as well, which is pretty nice. And he's really cheap, guys. He's only like 31k to max, which is so cheap. And you can place 8 of them. And he's actually not even that bad for infinite though, but look at that damage, man. It leaves a little bit to be desired when in infinite mode. All right, next up we have another great unit, guys. Now this one also has an OP ability that's meta for gauntlet mode, but people don't know. I believe Rimuru might still be the highest DPS unit in the game. Like seriously, she's busted. The only problem is if we take a look at her cost. Look at this, guys. Oh my gosh. If we go all the way up here to max, bruh, 5.4 million. Now you mean that's not that bad, but remember you can place all 8 of her, which is crazy. 7.2 million. All right, so that means if we place all 8 Rimurus and somehow max them out at a total cost of like over $40 million. All right, guess what, man? That means our DPS would be 7.2 million at level 175. Let's compare that to Broly 7-star, a unit that was not on this list. You want to know why? Look at this, guys. Only 2.4 million. Bruh. Rimuru's doing 3 times as much DPS as Broly. That's freaking crazy. But remember, Rimuru does cost 2.7 million times 8. So times 2, because that's the sell price. So it's a little ridiculous. But if you could somehow bring 2 farm units, dude, Rimuru just slaps, man. Insane DPS. But hey, if we ever get a 7-star money unit, hey, Rimuru's about to be on, might actually be number 1 after that. The reason being she's only number 8 is because of that insane cost. So number 9, we have Mob 7-star, the highest damage unit in the game. Now, honestly, a thing people don't realize about Mob 7-star is look at this, guys. 26.2 million for 12. That's no slouch. Like, if we do the DPS math on that, that is actually surprisingly close to Broly's DPS. Broly's at 2.4 million. And we'll do the math on Stampede real quick. 2.183. All right. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Like, that's actually really good. So, and of course, guys, you get Esper Rage, which does like 7.5 billion damage. So we'll just do that real quick. Just spawn in a bunch of enemies. And then bang. Look at that, guys. We're all the way up. Like, come on. We took out 3 enemies, and somehow we're all the way up to 22.5 billion damage, man. That is the power of our boy Mob. But Mob is not the best unit in the game. All right, the best unit in the game by far is this guy right here. We'll place him down. He is busted OP, and he's probably going to get patched very soon. Not only is he busted for raid mode, like, look at this. Look at these stats in raid mode. 796 for only, like, frick, 48k? That's crazy. Plus, he buffs money units as well, which is crazy enough. But look at this, guys. He has his 2 abilities. 1, he's a time rewinder with Hypnosis Reverse, and 2, he has Hypnosis Takeover, which yeah, basically just wipes out any unit on the map. All right, it takes 10 units, all right, that are on the battlefield, and then it halves their HP, and then it spawns them as like Metal Cooler clones. All right, that's the best way to explain it. So like that. So I believe it has to be in the range though. So I'm gonna try to spawn in some enemies, and we'll. Oh, I already used it. But the problem with it is, guys, it doesn't ever come back. So I don't think you can ever use it twice. It's like a once per game thing. But once you do use it, it's pretty busted. So there you go, guys. Those are the top 10 units in All-Star Tower Defense. And make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe if you want my code unit.